Most welcome guests. My name is Tatiana, and I am the current president of our wonderful Toastbusters Club. And I am very much excited to open our meeting number 269, if I'm not mistaken. And for those of you who don't know, but I think everybody knows that we are a part of worldwide organization Toastmasters, which is located in California, the United States. So if you like to travel and you have an ability to do so, you are more than welcome to attend any club, any Toastmasters club all over the world. And before we start our meeting, I would kindly ask you to put the sounds of your cell phones off or use a silent mode for them. And I think to stay aligned with the best tradition of our club, I would like to invite to the virtual stage the guest. It's Zhenya. And introduce yourself. You are muted. Please unmute yourself. We don't hear you. Just give us 1 minute. Maybe it's a technical problem. Zhenya, say something. Zhenya?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you. So please briefly introduce yourself. Tell us your name, how you found out about our club, what your expectations are, and if you have any experience visiting other Toastmasters club, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My Russian name is Zhenya. I'm a Chinese native, and I have been learning Russian for 14 years, and professionally, I'm a Chinese and a Russian translator and interpreter. I have been to Russia for 2 times. One time was in Omsk, and the other time was in Sochi in 2014 to work as the volunteer for the Winter Olympic Games. So I always have a strong desire to communicate with Russian and to know more about Russian culture and people. That's why I Googled Toastmaster in Russia. That's how I found Toastmaster Moscow. I'm very excited and I can't wait for the event tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Please enjoy your meeting. And I think we are ready to go ahead and start the main part of our meeting. And I would like to invite to the stage the Toastmaster of the day. And tonight it is Olga Latanova. Please welcome Olga.
Thank you, Madam President. So good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters. Imagine late autumn day. The air is crystal, transparent, and freezing. The skies are bright, but it's heavy gray color, and they're hanging over the forest. The forest is naked with the trees that threw off their last leaves, and the ground is covered with a carpet of the old leaves mixed with old grass. Imagine a bear that is stepping slowly over this soft surface. And suddenly he bumps into a husky dog. The husky dog is running towards somewhere, waving its tail. The bear says, "Husky dog, where are you heading?" And he replies, "I'm heading towards winter. The winter is coming." And the bear says, "Really? You are really so joyful?" And he says, "Yes, that's super exciting. Come on with me. It's going lot of fun. And the bear says, no, 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 actually, I'm trying to find a calm, good place to sleep until spring and to hibernate. So wake me up when it's sun and warm again. And the husky dog shrugs his shoulders and says, your choice. And he continues his way, and the bear deepens into the forest. So, good evening again, my dear fellow Toastmasters. Actually, I think that by attitude towards winter, people can be classified into bears and huskies. These are two extremes, but the winter is also very contradictory. It has a lot of pros and cons, right? And with you, I would like to explore and remember all these benefits and drawbacks of winter. So, what are the reasons why bear could hate winter? Why he wants to sleep until spring is back? So, first there are physical change, right? And let's remember all these lovely attributes of winter. Snowfalls that, and I will talk from a perspective of urban citizen, like most of us are, right? So snowfall, imagine this car traffic, and the car owners would understand me how much time we spend on car cleaning. Then it's freeze, and it's really freezing. And actually we have an online expert on that, and I contacted Miles. So if you want to know how to keep warm in winter, ask Miles. So it's all about number of layers. He would prove me right. But imagine how many money we spend on these clothes. Please raise your hand who has more than 2 winter jackets. All right, most of you. And the shoes as well. And this is all expensive, right? And these layers, they are all expensive. Icy roads. Oh, these icy roads, especially for elderly people who, really, it's difficult for them to walk. And even if you are young, you can really slip and fall down and break your legs, arms, everything. It's a nightmare. And reagents. Oh my God, these reagents, they destroy our shoes. And they're so bad for the paws of the poor dogs. And mud. For me personally, the worst thing about winter, mud, it's everywhere. The cars are dirty, and our clothes are dirty, you have to clean, all of that. So that's a big physical change, especially in a city. But there's also psychological change. We really lack sun, and this is all about vitamin D. And vitamin D, do you know that there exists real diagnosis called SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, which is a form of depression, which comes because we lack vitamin D. And the symptoms, you might recognize some of them. So this is lack of appetite, you're always sleepy, you're in a gloomy mood. Yeah, and this kind of things. But also for me, lack of light, it's so weird. You wake up at 7, you get to work or somewhere doing stuff, and when you're heading back home, it's already dark. So you wake up 7, it's dark, and then you head up home, it's already dark, and you don't see the light for a full day. I remember, I tell you one story from my youth, from my university years, when we had a celebration of New Year with my friends, and we partied the New Year night, and we obviously went to bed in the morning, and we woke up at 4 or something. It was already dark, and then the next night again, and it was 3 nights in a row, and I realized I never seen light for 3 days. It was it was a lot of fun. Yes, let's be honest, right? But lacking light is something which makes me really sad. And also, as we discussed, another reason came to me, drawback of winter, the seasonal illness, sickness, right? So that's what we talked today. But on the contrary, there are so many cool things about winter, and in our central Russia as well. So first of all, the winters are beautiful. When it's sunny, you get such a beautiful landscapes. When you escape from the city, you go outside and you see this bright sky. The sky has the color that you cannot observe in other seasons, honestly. And this white snow, the fields and magical forests, this is remarkable. It brings me the memories from my childhood when we had so many games with snow, right? What other benefits? So winter associates with winter sports, which are really cool. It's, the huge variety of sports: skis, mountain skis, skating, tobogganing, sliding a hill, all of that. It's so much fun, right? Then winter is the time for indoor activities. It's the time when we go to theaters, movies, exhibitions. We don't have time in the summer for that, but in winter we can, do these all interesting things. Hobbies, we can focus on our hobbies. Somebody would do a cooking masterclass, right? I'm a big fan of photographs, so I have a lot of them. So winter is the time when I can arrange my photographs, create albums. It takes a lot of time, but I love to spend it. Okay, before I had a baby, sorry, need to mention. Right, so what else? And let's not forget that I put it on the last place, but I think this is the most important part of winter that even bears would enjoy. It's their holidays, the winter holidays and festivals. And we have a lot. We have the Catholic Christmas, then we have New Year, Old New Year, Orthodox. We have a lot, right? And this is a special time of the year, like a famous song says. This is the time associated with warmth and coziness, right? It's a time of candles, lights, intimate meetings with our friends and families at home or in cozy cafes, presents which we prepare for our beloved ones, or the ones that we get from them. Amazing time. There should be some music now in the background.
Roll spirit.
Yeah, I think I created that. So let me summarize. So honestly, as I said, there are pros and cons of winter, but we living in this part of the world, we should appreciate how privileged we are to observe and to witness this big change of season. Imagine that 50% of people on our planet, they have never seen snow, they've never seen winter, they don't know what it is. So let's appreciate that, right? So, welcome to our meeting. And the topic of the meeting is 50 Shades of Grey, which is probably not referring to the place where Miles is from. I hope you tell us a little bit about it. So it's super sunny in his place, and he didn't understand my question when I asked him, how do you tolerate winter? He couldn't understand, like, why? It's so sunny, it's so nice. So in our part of the world, it's 50 Shades of Grey, or how to tolerate long Russian winters. And my goal today is to understand whether we have more bears or huskies in our society. So let's see in the course of the meeting. Now, so let me remind you what our meeting today would consist of. There will be 3 parts. First part, there will be the prepared speeches, and today we have 3 of them. Then we'll have the impromptu speeches, the table topic session, and then the most important, as I believe, the most important part, the evaluation, when we have to listen to the feedback from our colleagues, peers, and improve next time. But before we go into the first part, I would like to invite to the stage the minor roles, which are very important roles for today. And we have 3 of them today. Let's start with the R counter. And I just want to say that the usual recommendation from R counters is, to replace the filler words that we all use. Wow, Miles, amazing. Yeah, he proved me right. It's sunny, right? It's not this gray, sorry, shitty weather we have.
Nice and sunny.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Miles. So, our counter. So, usually our counters recommend to, instead of using the filler words, to use pauses, right? So my recommendation from my side, an idea, as you talk and you want to use an interjection, have a winter drink, sip of winter drink. Could be blue wine, hot wine, could be a tea or a cup of coffee. And you can, instead of saying this, but let's hear from Polina, who's our, your timer. Okay, your timer. From Alina then, oh sorry, please introduce yourself.
Very much. It was my speech about pauses between words. Okay, I will try to find a new one. So you saw just now, like Olga, show us a good example of pause between words. I tried to count some sounds from her, but I didn't, because it was very good speech. Thank you very much. So we will try to do the same like she was. So I will count the sounds, and at the end of today's meeting, I will show you the results. Thank you very much.
Another important role is timer. And so talking about, so I think that the winter in our central part of Russia is very bad this timing. It arrives very early and it ends very late. And we already, try to kick it off, but sometimes it lasts until April, right? So, Polina, tell us about your role today as a timer. So I really like winter. I really enjoy the start of the year because of the nature is beautiful. I like snow. I like all the winter activities like mountain skiing and skating. But the one thing that I hate about winter is what Olga already has mentioned: the problem with timing, because it's dark very early. Usually in winter, I woke up and I wake up and I think it seems like I have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff like studying, do sports, do my work, but I just sit in front of my computer and I worked a little bit, and after that it's already dark. So I have to say that we have to appreciate every minute of our time. Today I'm a timer. I'm going to introduce my roles. So it's very important to speak with a special time limits. I'm going to show you special signals. The green one says that it's okay, you can speak more. The yellow one says that it's okay too, but you're very close to the end. And the red signal, it says that you have to end your speech in 30 seconds. Enjoy the evening and have good speeches. Thank you. Thanks, Paulina. And the third call we have today is the quiz master, and this is Tanya. But before she tells us what her role is about, I would like to tell you one interesting fact about winter. In 1944 in Moscow, in April, there was a snowfall. So as I said, winter 1944, yeah, still war, still time of war. And it was a very weird snowfall. And the snowflake that fell from the sky was the size of a hand. It was really, and the shape was a oyster feather. Oyster feather. But I have a question to Tanya. To Tanya, maybe somebody else. Can you guess what was the biggest snowflake diameter registered on Earth? Any guesses?
50 centimeters.
Okay, more?
No.
More options?
1 kilometer?
Snowflake. Snowflake coming from the sky.
1 meter.
You're an optimist. Okay,
10
believers.
15 centimeters. Half a meter.
Yeah, same. But you are close, was a little bit less, but imagine 38 centimeters or a snowflake, like the sheet in diameter. More than the sheet, it's 30 centimeters. Yeah, I would love to see that one. So Tanya will tell us what her role is today as a quiz master.
Thank you, Olga. Dear fellow Toastbusters, yes, my role tonight is a quiz master. And you know what? I was thinking about that story, and I realized that to record this kind of record, world record, it's not enough just to witness it. You have to kind of like take it. Yes, you have to make sure that you have some kind of evidences for that, right? So I wonder how many people witnessed this snowflake?
I need to investigate.
That's an interesting fact. So my role tonight is a quiz master, and I will be listening all of the participants tonight carefully, make notes, and towards the end of the meeting, I will ask you a question, and we will check how good listeners you are, and how good a record maker I am. So if we have a world record tonight, we definitely have evidences and witnesses. Thank you.
All right, so with that, we are moving to the exciting first part of our meeting. This is the prepared speeches, and as I said, we have 3 of them. And we will start with Anastasia. Just 1 second, I asked Anastasia, what is her personal recipe to tolerate Russian winters? So what she said that my recipe is doing winter sports, skating and skiing. We have a lot of people, very sporty. Paulina is the same. But the second part, with hot wine afterwards, it's a must, and small home parties with tabletop games with family or friends. And I love the closing she did. It's all about people who make you really warm. So thank you for this wonderful recipe. And Anastasia, welcome on stage. Good luck.
Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters, both online and offline. So I'm ready to share my speech with you today. And just yesterday, my boss shared her impressions about your new university tutor. So my boss is making an MBA in the High School of Economy, and this tutor is teaching intellectual property right protection. It is a woman, by the way. She is PhD in physics. Then she is Alpine skiing coach. She is a 3 foreign language speaker, including Arabic, or kind of this. She is a mother of 2 children, and I hope this list will never end. I didn't ask. And the first thing I thought, is it real? Do these people really exist? And a woman? And the second thing I thought about was how often do we get down to something and we give up, even not getting to the middle of this. And the next thought was actually what motivates me when I do something. And to my mind, there are around 3 basic things I would list that people really do when they don't get motivated and don't achieve their goals. The first one is bad timing. The second one is a wrong goal setting. And the last, but of course not the least, is your attitude or bad motivation. And of course, we can speak long about all these issues, but today I would like to focus more on the last one. And maybe also the reason for this is that I am personally such a person that faced so many times this situation when I was extremely in an uncomfortable situation doing something, but I didn't give up and I succeeded and I achieved my goal. Right at the beginning, to be on the same page with you, I would like to mention that we are speaking about not the situation when you are about to start something, but when you already started and you think, how would I continue? What should motivate me? And the second thing, you're not alone, you're making it in a group of people, so you're always surrounded by other people. So the most typical example of such situation would be you already had your first training in the gym and you were extremely uncomfortable, you compared yourself with other people training there, and then you say, okay, I'm not sure I want to do it again. And coupled with laziness, this all brings you to a perfect cocktail which can be called sport is not for me, or maybe next time. And now I would like to share my personal thoughts, my experience about motivation and how to be motivated. And I performed these things in a type of guidelines, 3 of them. The first one is focus on yourself. People are such creatures that tend to compare themselves with other people, and there will be always people who are better than you. But you should remember that no one cares actually. Everyone is busy with himself. And usually people compare, they get nervous, they get angry, also they get envious, and they spend much negative energy. And they spend this energy in the wrong way. So better to focus on yourself. And I remember when I started learning German in my academy, I was together with my friend the worst in the group. Really the worst. We had first month was dedicated to pronouncing the words in correct way, and we made these funny faces like and so on. And I was so bad with this, but I was at the same time so angry with myself that when I came home, I started practicing, and I said, I don't want to be the worst. I want to be the best. And actually, at the end of this year, that brought the correct results, the results I wanted. And this brings us to the second thing. And this thing is compare, observe other people, but don't overdo this. And one more thing here is also an example that I want to give you. Once I passed a casting. It was when I danced, and it was for a professional dancing group. That's a group actually. And I remember also that I faced the same situation. I was almost the worst person in the group after 12 years when I danced ballet, and there I was like a star. And as a result, I always remember the words of our trainer. He said, I chose you not because you can do everything, but I see that you can learn, that you do it fast. And so he believed in us, and he said that we have potential. he can work with us. He wants to work with us, and that contributed to his self-belief. It really gave me power, and also this resulted in the fact that after 2 years, I was among 8 people out of 30 who made the main part of the dancing crew. And the last, but of course not the least, thing is learn to not to underestimate your results. So remember about where you began and where you are now. And learn to praise yourself rather than to say, I'm still not like Anna, and she's the best in the group. And so now I'm coming to the end of my speech. And the last thing I would like to share with you is the statement that I really liked, is success is a ladder that no one climbed without hands in his pockets. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nastya. So first of all, I apologize that I forgot to say the name of the title of your speech, and let me, recover a little bit. So the title of the speech was "How to Stay Motivated and Achieve Your Goals," but you obviously could understand the topic. And it was the project was writing speech with purpose and level 1 presentation mastery. From my side, let me share. First of all, I admire what you seem a kind of a person who is first of all very passionate about what you do, and you have such a diversity of interests. It was languages, it was dancing, Sorry.
The time for your previous evaluation. I think what I am saying now is what you will say after my evaluation.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you very much, Alan. Sorry, I'm doing it for the first time. Sorry. So let's not interrupt our main part of the meeting, and let's move on to the second speaker. And today the second speaker is Miles with the speech "Connecting with Elder Clarence Wolfleg." The project is Make Connection Through Networking, level 3, Visionary Communication. And before I invite Miles on the virtual stage, let me share the recipe. When I asked Miles about what's his recipe to tolerate winters, he couldn't understand my question, obviously, because he doesn't tolerate them, he enjoys them. And all his recipes, listen what it was. At night, I wear my sleepwear system. I wear 2 layers top and bottom, a sleeping cap on my head, and socks. And he said that dressing for the weather is about being comfortable indoors and go outdoors sometimes during the day for a walk. I also have this rubber metal sharp on cleats for my boots, so I don't sleep. So that's the recipe from him. And now, Miles, please welcome on the virtual stage with your speech. Connecting with Elder Clarence Wolfleg. Miles, the stage is yours. Miles, we can't hear you. Wait a second. You're on mute, Miles. Please try to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry, folks. Hello, I'm unmuted. Thank you, Toastmaster Olga. Elder Clarence Wolfleg, let me put up a picture of him. I'm hoping this will work. Working with this technology is something new to me. Please bear with me. Microphone on. Start broadcast. Now, Clarence Wolfleg is an elder of the Blackfoot Confederacy, and he is an elder that I have made connections with. And what I'd like to show you are some slides of my networking that I did immediately after the Toastmasters meeting we had about serendipity. If you recall, I gave a speech that was supposed to be 7 minutes went 9 minutes because I was trying to put too much into it. So hopefully today I'm more of providing an elevator pitch. But stories of the land. Here's another story of the land about bears. Elder Clarence Wolfleg shares a story in the land acknowledgement video that I have available in our chat. And the prairie grizzly bear used to roam the entire area where I live. And now today the grizzly is only up in the mountains. But the prairie grizzly, long time ago, said we must make treaties with all of our relations. So that was another bear giving us instructions. Privet, Oki, Danatada, Tansi, and hello, and greetings from Niatawasi, also known as Treaty 7 Territory, Canada. Networking, it all begins with a conversation. And here's an example of my first attempt at trying to get people to be part of a conversation so that we might rally together and organize. Now, this was my setup in City Hall in Calgary. And if you see those words on that sign at the top there, it says, it all begins with a conversation. And those are the words of an awesome American named Ralph Nader. Now, I couldn't keep my little display up for more than a half an hour before security came along and told me, no, you are not allowed to do that. So I had to move on. But there's an example of an elevator pitch back then. And it's, we are all climate leaders, so are you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we need you now. Those are the words of Greta Thunberg. So networking, that's the purpose of this project, pardon me. And it's a challenge because, you know, how do you connect with people? And you've got to have an elevator pitch. So as I said, immediately after our meeting about serendipity, it was a coincidence maybe that I immediately had to go down to Fort Calgary to attend the Indigenous Gathering Place Society feast. And there I met some really wonderful people. And as I promised at the meeting, I did communicate that I would say hello. And I have my Toastmasters badge, says ask me about Toastmasters. And I got my name here, Miles Flegg Toastbusters Moscow. So when I was talking to people down here at this feast, I was saying I'm also a member of Toastbusters and was able to start conversations about truth and reconciliation and the need for us to reconcile here locally, but we also have to reconcile internationally. And I shared with them what I've told you in the past, that I'm working on a pathway in Toastmasters that I've called round dances as pathways to truth and reconciliation, peace and friendship. So I'm one of the people I met, believe it or not, was the mayor, Jyoti, her worship, Mayor Jyoti Gondek, the mayor of Calgary for the past year, and chatted briefly with her at the buffet and talked to her about another possible opportunity to meet with her, which was at a meeting luncheon. But I decided, no, I've got to, I'll maybe not be able to attend that meeting. So I went on to connect with, oh, pardon me. Went on to connect with Elder Clarence Wolfleg, who I saw sitting at a table, and he was only sitting with one other person. And again, he's the one who talks about the importance of treaty, and shared the story about the grizzly, the prairie grizzly, saying we need treaties with all of our relations. So my follow-up connection with him was to meet him at our Calgary Public Library. Here's a picture of it. And he's there for a few hours on Thursdays, certain Thursdays. And consequently, I had 2 more meetings with him, and I shared with him my initiative of truth and reconciliation on a pathway to harmony with our Indigenous neighbors. And I actually presented him this letter that I wrote. It's available on my website. But ultimately, my elevator pitch is this: truth. We need to be informed citizenry. That's a quote of none other than US President Eisenhower in January 1963. We need to be informed citizenry. So that's truth. Reconciliation. We must re-examine our attitudes. This was US President John F. Kennedy in his 1963 speech about peace. And finally, truth and reconciliation Canada. Canada means villages, and we must make peace and friendship treaties with all our relations as the Prairie Grizzly has instructed us. So my awesome Toastbuster friends, we've heard from the Prairie Grizzly, and we will continue to network on this pathway to peace and friendship. I'll take you, my Toastbuster friends, as I go networking. I feel blessed. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Miles. Yeah. All right, so I would like to invite to the stage the third speaker for today, Anna Rubina. And as I asked Anna for a recipe to tolerate leaders, she said something very cozy. So I call it 3 C's: coffee, candles, and choice to enjoy life, whatever it takes. So Anna today will give us a speech, the title of which is PR for Toastbusters. Her project is Public Relations Strategies, Level 4, Dynamic Leadership Path. So PR for Toastbusters, Anna Rubina. The stage is yours.
Okay. No.
Good luck.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, we're looking some equipment for my presentation. So I thought those will help me with this. So, as you know, Toastmaster provides not only speaking parts, but some parts on leadership skills. And I chose that part. It's called dynamic leadership. And one of the projects in this part is not to make a speech, but to make up a public relations plan. And I decided to take this project and make a plan for our club. So, okay. Why do we need it? What do you think? Any ideas? We need more members. Yes, we need more members. And I would like to see the second slide of my presentation. Yeah. Do you know who are these people?
No idea.
No idea. Look.
I said newcomers.
Yes. Yes, these are newcomers who used to come to our club. See how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 people. 10 newcomers. So they used to be tired before COVID and before everything else. But I still believe that we can manage to see newcomers at every meeting. Yes, Alina, it's pretty Alina. Okay, now we have 15 members in our club. 15. And we need 20. Why do we need 20? Who knows?
We need more. In order to be registered.
Yes, at least 20.
Club operates with 20 members. smoothly operate. Yes, smoothly operate, because we need speakers to make speeches, we need evaluators to evaluate them, we need role takers, we need energy, yes, we need fun. So how to
Fresh blood.
yes, we need fresh blood, because we don't keep everyone in chains to stay. Some people leave for different reasons. It's a constant flow of members, and that's why we need to see new people. And how do these new people learn about the club? And Nastya, how did you learn? You're the latest acquisition about club. How did you learn?
Today.
Okay, no, you just say, I will repeat.
So it was like promotion made at my job place within the framework of training about public speaking. So just one person came, I don't remember his position, and he told us. So he motivated people.
So you learned through workshops. So you got this information, but how did you find the outcome? What did you do?
I had a contact of this person, his heart, and also the website. So I checked the website, then I chose the city, yes, then I chose the location that was a language location. Yes.
Okay. So we have some resources where people can find information about our club. Next slide, please. Yeah. So first of all, they learn mostly through friends, I asked a lot of people learn it from friends, colleagues, read in books or in some media, or get information at a workshop. Then what they do, they Google Toastmasters and go either to the toastmasters.org, the main site, or our Russian site, toastmasters.ru. And there, okay. So, and also they look for information on social media, right? Can you show the next slide? Yes. Look at the picture. Who is this?
Miles.
Yes, Miles, our Vice President Public Relations. So Miles does almost all the job. He updates our Instagram feed and simultaneously. It's how to say it. So it posts on Facebook. Yes, the posts go automatically to Facebook, right? So almost, so Miles posts the information about the upcoming meeting and also some reports and pictures and some pictures from special events. And I want to appreciate and praise Miles for this great job. Okay, Miles, can you hear the applause? If you can't hear,
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, next slide.
Thank you very much.
Mhm. Okay, and can you a little shrink it to see the table? Hmm? Yes. If there is a bar at the top of the page. Mhm. Yeah, so let's move it this way. So we have some resources of our public relations, but not of them work. And I analyzed what we have and what we don't have and came up with this chart. So we have Instagram, right? And we have Facebook, but those social media are not legal yes, are not legal now. Though still a lot of people use it. Can you raise the hand who still uses Instagram? It's prohibited. Huh? It's prohibited. Oh, we can't even discuss it. Okay, I still believe that we should keep on with this
social networks, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay. Also, we used to have a newsletter. Can you raise a hand who read it a year ago? No? Nobody read this newsletter. So there were almost 800 emails in our database, and we lost all these. Should we, oh my God, red one. Should we revive this newsletter? That's a question for you. What do you think? Do we need the newsletter?
Do we have to pay for it?
No.
It's
Yes, just we need, as a person needs to spend time on
But
doing it.
according to statistics, nobody reads. That's the problem.
Mhm.
So you need much efforts to do this, to prepare things, but nobody reads it.
Yes, so probably,
I guess
There is no-
anybody. Can you post it? Can you make a
It
post?
depends on person. Personally, I don't like.
so newsletter goes to your mail. Yes, you get it in your mail. So do we need it? Let's vote.
Kind of information.
Just about they will be meeting this
Ah.
evening. Right. We also have as our site, Toasbusters. It's frozen now. We still have the picture from February on our page, main page. We need the site to keep the information there, to store the history of our club, though it needs maintenance, and I'm glad. I want to say that I want to take this on me and restore our site. And there is a question of whether we should go to Contacte and have an account there for those people who don't use Facebook and Instagram. So basically we can copy all the information. The same post from Instagram goes to Contacte. So there is no point in inventing something new, just what?
No, continue.
Okay. So I think that we should start an account in Contacte. We have it already. We have to restore it. There are also resources like Telegram. We should start it? No.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, we do have.
You have.
Yeah,
Does it work?
Yeah, or some, let's say WhatsApp, some we have WhatsApp, and in Telegram we have group also not only for members, but just for guests, we have two. And yeah, I think that people go there.
Mhm.
How do you get guests to the group?
Yeah,
How to get?
just they come to the meeting and we ask like, where can I read it? It has to be immediately put it into the group, and it's a very good of everybody, just one second.
Okay. So there is a point in thinking about Telegram. And as a special event to promote the club, we are trying to organize open space for almost a year. And I hope that in January we will have the open house. And who wants to take part in the organization, please approach Tatiana Glavshova. Okay, I think I will close my speech, yes, at this point. And I will discuss it also with Miles personally, this PR's plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for sharing the backstage of Toastbusters. Should we have the break now? Or, right?
Yes.
All right, so we announce 10-minute break.
According to the schedule, yeah.
All right, 10 minutes, so let's be back at 8:05, 8:08. Only one.
Там уже еще там сейчас видим бери расширение. Открой его демонстрацию. Есть. К сожалению, потому что вы появлялись, хотя ребята вообще не было с нами.
Пока есть.
Главная встреча. Я встречу прикольно. А вообще, такие встречи, что не знаю, что встречи для или они смотрят и больше не общаются. Я много очень реальных встреч, как вы где-то общалась и знакомились, и приходили на них, потому что я знала, что встречи будут классные. И было постоянно приглашение нет, потому что я точно знала, что встреча пойдет хорошо. Сейчас непонятно, как приглашать, потому что не знаю, как пойдет встреча, потому что я сама не всегда могу говорить. И вот здесь нужно, видимо, ну, либо сами. Но пока встречи будут грустными, никто не дойдет. Могут даже уйти в час. Это грустно. Поэтому надо придумать так, чтобы встречи были яркие, чтобы были все роли по-другому. Конечно, да. Не приглашать, пока приглашать других людей. Просто если запомнить все роли, то нужно 3 речи, это точно наши. И иногда можно приглашать. И человек, это получается Toasbusters, а все остальные могут быть вообще чужие клубы. У нас еще 2 англоговорящих клуба, у нас еще русский клуб, есть куча людей, которые говорят по-английски, Сергей Сажин можно приглашать. На самом деле, да, Кристина Шабыкина.
Да, я, кстати, сам приглашаю.
А мне кажется, что касается
Не, я
Она 2 раза ее уже звала.
А за 3-й раз
Не, ну Шарыкину я еще скажу, да, если там сейчас включу, но на самом деле много народ посмотрели по Златоусте, Саша, вот этот товарищ.
И Майский любит к нам ходить. Он, правда, плохо знает, но он говорит, что на таймер, например, он должен прийти.
Ну, вот, например, в Волсоке, знаешь, что вот это Татьяна, она пишет постоянно, я уже сейчас, я уже повторно не могу, давай туда, давай сюда, вот есть, то есть, хотя я не знаю, то есть тоже, и просто все волосы работают, все. То есть они, я думаю, что с удовольствием, там сейчас это, кстати, прибавилось, что там все порядок, согласен. Ну, на самом деле, и иногда приходит туда, пусть, конечно,
Я писала, знаешь как, ну, выбираются 10 человек. Понедельник всем написала. Из них там из 10, может быть, 20 голосуют. Окей, написала. Следующую пачку 10 минут, там на одну и на 2 роли, прям сразу все разложили. Из них там 2 человека осталось. Ну, такая статистика
Еще
была.
знаешь, какая тема, я не знаю, нам озвучиваю, какая тема. Помимо того, что я засвечена, интересно, еще я себе и люди мне тоже спрашивали, на встрече. И они мне сказали, что оно никто не сказал, что вы хотите, пошибить я хотела. Но как бы мне никто не сказал, что... Как вы знаете, хорошую... Нет, я сразу для новичков, типа, просто, ну, то есть не то, чтобы бомбить, потому что я тоже помню, а что-то никто не пришел, говорит, ну, поэтому надо новичкам сразу там на следующий день нужно да, вот это вот, я говорю, сейчас
Не, она есть, она просто больше не говорит.
не, ну и потом, я, например, просто хотела уже приглашать на свои знакомые, все сейчас не хотим.
На Новый год можно быть. Но не на Новый год, через 2 недели.
Потому что, ну, честно говоря, мне кажется, наш культура больше нравится.
Тебя включают так знать.
Каждый выбирает свои атмосфере, да.
Ну, я, да.
Видишь, тоже как с ними тоже надо общаться, чтобы звонить, а знаешь, что не только там, ну, что там, да, прислал человек какой-нибудь, тоже с собой там одной крови, что ну, ебать, о чем идет речь, там, что, ну, как бы, что ты для них как бы не абстрактное лицо, ты это тоже не а вот кто-то вот живой, кому нужна помощь, там, завтра ты ему помощь хотеть.
Может, они меня ценят.
Ну, к ней что-то как-то, да.
Там я приглашала какую-то женщину, и причем прислала ей, написала на следующий день, выслала ей всю информацию, она чуть так и не пришла.
Такие тоже бывают. У меня были такие, которые мне, ну, я в следующий раз точно пишу, сейчас не смогу. Я пишу опять, ой, я там где-то в Подмосковье не успеваю, и в последний момент не приду. И я писала, потом после 5-го раза решила не возвращать.
Ну, это же очень большинство. У меня есть знакомых, я говорю, ты почему давай. Ну вот, только не сейчас. Сейчас, а вот в следующий раз будет точно. Я все, я думаю, что это никогда не случится.
А вы были в прошлом году, когда была годовщина наша?
Да.
Вот на эту годовщину я пригласила человек 100. И практически все отказались. И пришло очень много тех, кто обычно не ходит на встречу. Было часть наших. Там вот я недавно смотрела фотографии, там было человек 3, наверное, 4 наших. А все остальные были вообще какие-то там...
Были те, которые были до этого, в комитете.
Да. Причем там отказались даже те, кто 100%, я думаю, что они поддерживали, придут. Но там кто-то, так типа Лера, она пришла онлайн. Это был такой стресс для меня тогда, что в день рождения клуба ключевые люди просто не придут. Но все равно сложилось, что классно.
Ну да. Не было ощущения, что они просто не сценарий.
Ой, все было без сценария. Я же заказывала, в последний момент мне его сказали, что не сделать, потому что надо делать дороги. Я перезаказывала в другом месте, новый просто его привезли, и он оказался еще красивее. Да, и там тоже такой же был. Такой, я покажу. Я сейчас отчет. полугодовые. Второй день. Я ему отправила свой отчет, чтобы он принял. Как минимум, просит отчет. У вас что, совет будет? Тоже в клубе или общие? Должно было сказать, покажите, на я немножко промахнулась, но мы слышим.
So welcome back, dear fellow Toastmasters. The second part of our meeting today starts, and it starts with the most exciting part, for me at least, the table topic session. And we just heard about the experience of having the backward of the table topic session, but thanks God today it will be the classical, the conservative variant. And I would like to welcome on stage Natalia Chernenko, who will be conducting the
So, hello to everyone. My first question is, where are all men? Where are all men from this? No, where are they here in the audience? So, I'm glad to see you at least online, because there is no men in the audience, just women. So it would be great if someone is right now, because there's full of beautiful Russian women who tolerate Russian winters. So welcome to the audience then offline next time. Hopefully they have found something for tonight just to tolerate Russian winter, and they will tell us later next time what did they do today. So my idea for today is about the topic. Of course, it's a wonderful topic, because it's already very, very dark outside almost all the time, and really we need some energy to motivate ourselves to do something, to go outside and to be happy at the same time, not just pushing ourselves somewhere. So I have brought something from my home. I have it just normally at my apartment, and you can choose something without seeing it, just picking it up from this wonderful green bag. It's also bright color for winter. And so the main idea and the main question is, what will you do with this stuff during these long winter days? And so the idea of the impromptu speeches, I hope you know it already, but according to the rules, I will tell you some short rules, so you can have the impromptu speech to the questions I will put, and you have from 1 minute to 2 minutes to tell us a story or fairy tale or something you want, but it should be funny or dramatic, or so up to you. Who will be the first one?
I can try.
Alina. The first one. So be careful, because it's really different.
Dangerous.
Yeah, but you can choose really. Tasting.
Wow.
Yeah. So, oh, it's a wonderful candle. Your answer.
It's a candle. Huh. Luxury candle. If you think that you about winter something, I can explain a bit more, because I was born in Vorkuta. It's close to Arctic Ocean, 100 kilometers from my home. So Olga at the beginning said that we cannot see sun during the day. At my home, we didn't see sun 1/2 a year. It was 2 or 3 hours during the day,
from 12 till 2 or till 3 p.m. It depends on part of winter. And every winter evening, we spend together with my family. And my favorite time of the year was New Year time, and I prepared for my dolls and teddy bears, for all my small toys. This yoga, I don't Christmas tree, but I mean like a celebration party, yes, party like yoga in my childhood garden, kindergarten, and they're the same. I prepared for my toys, and I've put it there candles and small Christmas tree, and all my toys walked around this Christmas tree and sang and sing the song about Christmas tree.
End of this session, we'll see if everything would end up something there. Alina, thank you. I didn't know about the Kota, and the most interesting things right now that I'm from Imekon, it's Yakutia, is a pole of cold. So the topic of the day is just especially for us. So it's really something special, and it's like 9 months a year it's cold and minus 60, and it's real, and there is almost no light outside. So it's but still, even in Moscow, I have to tolerate to find something energizing for me. So who will be the next one? It's what's a great option, not just to think something, like to tell us something about the current situation, but to bring us your memories or tell us the stories about from your life. It should be like, Miles, I think you should be the next one. Yeah?
Okay, I guess so. Are you sure? I already had a lot of
I'm
speaking.
glad to see you first. So right now we don't have any random coffee sessions, but I'm glad to see you here.
Nice
So
to see
I
you.
will ask someone, or for example, to help us and to pick up the something for you. Don't look at it. Okay, what will I choose? No, it doesn't work like this. Oh yeah, it can be something special on the or I even know, yeah, I even know what it, like what's the name of this stuff. It's beer taken. It's for beer, just to put it under the beer, under the glass of beer. Can you see that? Yeah, I will show you.
Oh, yes, we call it a beer coaster, but I can't read what it says.
What it's reading, something in Czech, I think, I suppose. I think it's from Prague.
Oh, and that's maybe the brewery where they make the beer.
So your ideas, what can you do with this to tolerate the bitters? Okay, we already know that you don't tolerate bitter, but who enjoy bitter? Please tell us.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master Natalia. Beer coasters, very important to keep your tabletops protected from spilled beer coming down the side of the glass. You don't want to damage your table. So we always want to use a coaster under our beer. Beer, though, to me is not the ideal drink. So instead of using the coaster for a glass of cold beer on a cold day like today, where it's minus 24 this morning, I'm going to use that coaster for a hot mug of what the Germans call Glühwein, hot, spicy wine. That's a wonderful drink if you've been outside snowshoeing, or you've been outside downhill skiing, or maybe you rather do cross-country skiing because it's a lot less expensive compared to downhill skiing these days. But you get outside, you enjoy the sunshine, or maybe the snowflakes if it's not sunny, and you get that fresh air, you walk in nature, you're revitalized, then you come back in with your friends. Hopefully there's a fire in the stove or fireplace, and you've got a big pot of hot, spiced, mulled wine to enjoy. That's how you can tolerate Russian and Canadian winters. Madam Table Topics Master.
Great, nice. Thank you so much. You're telling it us so lovely, so tasty. So I really have the desire to not to tolerate winter, but enjoy it. And yeah, you're right, it's very similar between Russian and Canadian climate, at least in your part of Canada. So thank you for being with us and telling this story. Because I wanted to see like the many hands in the audience. Olga, you're first, then Katja. You're already prepared. You already see me everything. No, you don't do it.
I'll take something that I can understand what it was.
Oh.
Can you tell me what's the English, Miles, what's the proper word for this thing? In English, I don't know. Honestly. Miles, can you help me?
Oh, that's a skipping rope. Skipping rope.
Skipping rope. Oh, okay. It's not supposed to be the winter, right? The winter story. It's not necessary.
It's not
Actually, how to tolerate winter, but you can really change it somehow. So it's up to you. It's how you will tell.
Right. Well, skipping rope. To be or not to be. Honestly, I need to say I'm very much into sports. I used to do a lot of sports in my life. What associations come to me when I see that one? So usually you remember the girls in the skirts, and they go out in summer, and they jump, and they have all these tricks they do. They cross their hands and all that. But I have always been tall, and for me it was not that easy because all the ropes I had, they were very short usually, and I got as you understand. So I got like this, I couldn't get out. So I always was very envy to those girls who do this, tricks with this thing. Then I was very surprised when I noticed that men also do that. Have you seen them? Especially the boxers, they're the one who do the fighting, and they do amazing stuff with them. So they can do, like I was like, is it my real time? Because they do like, I don't know, in 1 second they can do 10 rotations. That's amazing. But okay, now it's winter topic and how to get warm. I think that's a great thing to get warm if you are cold, especially maybe in Europe where there is not so much gas now. And so that's an advice for all Europeans. If you get cold, think about this ropes and yeah, also glue wine, the thing that Miles proposed. Yeah. So my advice, my suggestion is sports and enjoying life and falling in winter.
That's why I love just a moment.
few words between people. So I love impromptu speeches exactly for that, because if we see the one more thing, but we have different opinions, different stories about it. And when I heard your solution, Alina, for this impromptu speeches, it was like this one after Olivier maybe, and it can be like, I can use it, or I should use it in summer after long winter or something like that. So, because I love Olivier, so kind of answering. Thank you for your memories, for telling us your story, Olga. And Katya, you'll be the next one. Actually, even I already forgot what it's inside, because I was in Russia in the morning and looking for all this stuff, and even I was surprised with this one. So, what will be the next? I have no idea. What is it? Who knows?
I don't know.
Okay. Hello, Toastmasters, dear guests. So, I have a wonderful, wonderful thing. It says, if you drink this wonderful thing, you will become stronger, you will become happier, you will become better, you will become wiser, etc. Why we need it during Russian winter? I can ask you. I don't know, but I can try to guess. Because during winter, we all have a lack of minerals, different minerals. Probably we are, sorry, I'm going to talk about myself. Usually I look like white, pale, I don't know, wall, also with dark circle under my eyes, etc. That is why I need it so much. Thank you, Natalia. After this meeting, I invite all of you to join me for this drink. Not blue wine, guys. No, not blue wine. Exactly this one. And what else? When we drink it, after that, I'm pretty sure we are going to have miles here and have, it's my dream actually, to have this machine, or, time machine, yes, and probably with that, because it's chaga, I don't know I can say it in English, chaga, kind of not tea, right? So after that, probably we're going to travel to Calgary or whatever it is. So guys, join me after the meeting. Thank you so much.
Actually, it was the best ever promo for chaga. It's a kind of drink, and to be honest, I have bought it yesterday and today. It was first time that I tried it, and I love it. So it's kind of tea, but it's like
Herbal tea. It's mushroom. It's mushroom that grows
on the tree. Yeah. Kind of, yeah, but it's really tasty. Yeah, so bad for this. You're welcome. Yeah, of course, that's what I was thinking about. I feel energy just right now, and that's why I understood why. Because of that, first I drank it at the office instead of coffee. So we still have some stuff in my bag, and we have guests in online audience. Maybe Zhenya or someone. Zhenya, do you hear us? Do you want to participate in this fantastic session? No, we don't have online, we lost them. So girls, we should do it by ourselves. Nobody wants to have this big wow. Yeah. You're the proper person.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is one of the most wonderful and practical things in our life. I'm always happy when I have both of these things, not only one, or if any. It makes my life much better. For example, today and yesterday and the day before yesterday, it was impossible to be outside without something where when you put on, yes, something on your hands. And it's the situation, I don't know why actually it is not that cold now outside, yet around -10, but I feel how my skin is getting like smaller. Structure is changing. And this is why I think this is the best thing. But by the way, I personally like not the gloves, but another type where you don't have these fingers. It's less practical, but it's like maybe cuter or something like this. But yes, you can survive and of course tolerate long Russian, practically Canadian winter without this thing. Thank you.
Yeah, I suppose that you will tell us about skiing and snowboarding, something like that, because it's actually my stuff was snowboarding and skiing. But yeah, it was one more option to tell us about it, and yeah, we need it also in our normal life. But do we have still time? I mean, no, I showed you like this. It means that I should go away from the from the stage. Yeah, okay. I will show you just one more thing that you haven't chosen. This one, I don't know. It was too huge and too big, and nobody wants to read it. So I'm ready to leave the stage, and I will see the down.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Our pleasure. It was a very exciting session. Topic session. I enjoyed it a lot. Still curious what's left inside. I will check if you allow. So now we are heading to the third part of our meeting today, the evaluation sessions. And I would like to invite on the stage our online fellow Toastmaster Samira Tozdar. Samira, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. We have now come to the evaluation portion of our meeting, and it is, I guess, extremely important part of our meeting because it provides our speakers with a personal feedback from our fellow Toastmasters, and the purpose of the evaluation is to give both positive comments and suggestions for improvement. And I hope that each speaker will stay motivated after listening to the personal feedback and make their speech even better next time. And first, I would like to call our evaluators who evaluate our speakers, and then I will proceed with the reports of our experts who will help me to evaluate the meeting. And at the end of the meeting, I will share my observations regarding the overall quality of the meeting. Our first speaker was Anastasia Kostyushkovskaya, and her project was called How to Stay Motivated and Achieve Your Goals. And the personal evaluator of Anastasia's speech is Alla Aganova. So Alla Aganova, welcome to the stage.
Before beginning my evaluation, I would like to answer something to the topic of the meeting. So what am I, a male or a husky? Still, I think I'm closer to huskies because even in winter, and sometimes it surprises the people close to me. I try to be active. I go to some interesting places. I go to some trips, even out in the city. That's why I try to live as usual. That's why I'm asking. Okay, now about the project of anesthesia. You know, the subject, the topic, is a very pressing one. All of us sometimes want to avoid depression and to stay motivated. That's why it was interesting to watch the project that corresponded to the purpose and objectives of the project according to pathways. Personally, I like your principles for motivation, your 3 principles: focusing on yourself, not comparing too much, and depend on.
Don't forget to praise yourself.
Yes, and don't forget to praise yourself. You excelled at the language, at raising the awareness of the audience. You felt comfortable with the audience. The project was structured rather well, but it was not always expressed clearly. Your multi-taking, multitasking lifestyle sometimes overwhelmed you. That's why sometimes the structure was disturbed. You have to work on your gestures. Gestures, they were rather limited. The purpose of your speech was not always seen with your output. You had a very small eye contact with the audience as to the conclusion. It was not clearly expressed, so I think it was terms of the quotation. Success is the matter whether when no one is with hands in the pocket. So in this quotation, I think you completely have chosen that to stay motivated, you should work. That's how it is. So in spite of some small minuses that I mentioned, I think that you have done a good project. We'll be looking forward to your next ones.
Thank you very much, Ala, for your evaluation. It was both positive and specific, but I would like to add some comments. You indicated some room for improvement, but it would be useful also to add how to correct these minuses that you have mentioned. So, but overall it was good. So our next speaker was Miles, and his project was connecting with Elder Clarence Wolfleck, and his personal evaluator is Ekaterina Dimova. So Ekaterina Dimova, please welcome to the stage.
For correction, before I start, I'd like to ask everybody to vote for table topics, for the best table topic.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just 30 minutes, maybe. We'll win our case.
And the online audience is there. Do they have link or something?
Yes, please, online audience, do too.
They have it.
Yes.
Okay.
They have.
Eight response.
Done?
8 response.
8 response. Yeah, we need more. Did everybody? How many?
10
10?
response. I think it's fine. No, I think
I guess, yeah, it's okay. So, dear guests, dear Toastmasters, and dear Miles, most of my time I'm going to see and look at camera, sorry. Dear Miles, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for your wonderful project. I would like to mention that actually each your speech is about kind of indigenous people of Canada, very informative, and I personally can learn a lot. And thank you for that. And let's take a look briefly on the objective of your project. So the purpose of your project was to practice networking effectively and understand being a professional ally to people, right? With that in mind, I want to give you probably 2 things you did well, in my opinion, or even excelled at, and 2 things that may you want to work on, and 1 thing maybe to change yourself. So first of all, what I really want to emphasize is that it wasn't a speech. It was a kind of talk. And I guess it has become your trademark. You always kind of talking, not I mean, it's a sort of prepared speech, but it's a real talk. And personally, again, I love it about your speeches. Because I would like to say, you used all your energy and the way you communicate with the audience, offline and online audience was wonderful. You were sitting, right? But your body language was great. And so Miles, great job on giving an actual talk and knowing the online and even offline audience, because I know yesterday I participated in one online meeting, Toastmasters, and it was to be online. Now I know how it's really difficult, and you did well. The second point that I want to highlight, Gutman, was your amazing stories that you always shared with us. Because, you know, when we say and share personal stories, we can communicate and understand you immediately. And it's kind of, in my opinion, again, it is the best way to learn, right? It's kind of amazing, again, personal stories. Also, I would like to share, and I would like to mention and highlight that you used certain kind of words that help us to imagine the whole picture. For example, she was standing in the cafe, right, when you met somebody, a very famous person actually. Also, we met in the library, etc., etc. So we could imagine these wonderful places where you were. As we are all Toastmasters, and we are constantly learning, I obviously have prepared several things, pieces of advice for you, even though it was very difficult to find some. It's quite clear that learning through real stories, again, is the best way. However, sometimes it's quite difficult for the audience to implement and to actually understand what they can do with this story. I mean, maybe some recommendations they are, waiting, right? So what I would suggest to improve is to think about how your experience can be conveyed in a more specific way. Kind of recommendations, right? For example, networking starts with the conversation you mentioned, right? But maybe again, sum up a little bit, right? It will be nice to smile or have specific signs or it's kind of like business card, as you mentioned, right? For better network. My second advice would be about the conclusion of your story. The conclusion of your story. I really, sorry?
About the time.
Yes, I know. Okay. I really liked, again, the whole project, and maybe next time you can conclude a little bit more precise, maybe, right? And also, if you remember, I asked you to explain a little bit the name, the title of the project, because I was a little bit confused. And my next suggestion is next time to make your title a little bit more precise. That next time that the audience can understand where everything is going, right? So, summarize my speech. Great project as usual, very specific, very nice talk, a lot of energy, wonderful communication style, wonderful knowing of the audience. However, a little bit working on your title and maybe sum up and maybe precise conclusion. Again, thank you much and looking forward for your next speech.
Thank you, Ekaterina, for your wonderful evaluation. It was very motivational, with details and suggestions for improvement. And our last speaker was Anna Rubinina, and the evaluation of Anna's speech will be presented by George Perelman. So, George Perelman, welcome to the virtual stage.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to say that it's nice pleasure to evaluate Anna. She always in a good mood, and I like it. And she appeared funny. Anna, could you come to the stage? It will be better to tell it to you, not to she. Thank you, Anna. I like to see you. So you appeared funny and you smiled. I like it. Really, everybody liked it. And also what was really necessary in your speech, because you wanted to deliver very necessary things to us. You invited us to participate, you invited members to talk, to answer. It was really nice. It helps you to catch attention of audience, and please continue to do it, because everybody in the room wants to talk. Not only they want to hear, they want to talk also. but you didn't catch audience from web. I know it's very hard, but you're a professional speaker, so you should remember about web audience. We are 6 here, as I see, and we want to participate also. We want to answer. We want to I don't know, raise hands and so on and so on, make marks and so on. We can do it, but I see that in our chat is 0. Yeah. So you prepared slides. That's very important. You didn't move them. You didn't switch them. You asked somebody else. We have. I know that we have a special. How it in English? Remote control for slides, and you can use it also. Prepare it also. Don't forget about it. So you, what else? Wait a second. So at the end, I see that it's going to be the end of my speech also. At the end, you tell that I think I should close my speech. Is it possible to say that for professional speaker? No, Anna, think about it, please. You should ask somebody to do something. What I should do after your speech? I didn't get it. And unfortunately, I think that nobody understand what to do. We want to do, I promise. We want to do everything what you ask us to do, but we can't. We don't know what to do. So please continue to do it in a positive, funny way. Continue to prepare, and please finish with the real invitation for doing something. We will do it. Thank you.
Thank you, George, for your evaluation. Even though Anna is a very experienced speaker, as you said, I think the evaluation should also be motivational, even for her, because I have some mixed feelings after your evaluation. I think you can add more positive comments. Okay. Let's proceed with our experts who prepared their reports. And our first expert is accountant Alina Tsigankova. Welcome to the stage, Alina.
Thank you very much. I will be shortly. Olga 1 time sound, Polina 2 times, Tanya Gladisheva 3 times, Anastasia should be careful because 49 times sounds, yes, different one. Miles 10 times, Anna 7 times, Mira 35. Please keep it in your mind. These different sounds that should please. Katya 15, George 10, just 10.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alina, for your report. And our next expert is Polina Chelmakova. She's our timer, so welcome to the stage.
Okay, I'll be short too. We have several people who didn't fit into time limits. It was Anna Rubinina. Her speech was lasted for almost 11 minutes. And talking about our evaluational part, Ekaterina's evaluation was lasted more than 7 minutes, and George's evaluation was lasted for 4 minutes. So guys, please next time, don't forget about the time limits. Thank you.
Thank you, Polina. And now I will call our last experts, Tatiana Gladышeva. She is a quiz master and she's going to check your listening skills.
Thank you, Samira. I'll try to be very quick. Okay, according to Olga, winter air is three factors. One, transparent, crystal, freezing. Okay, let's list very quickly the cones of the winter time. We have pros and cons, plus and minuses. So what about cones?
Mud.
The wind is beautiful. The wind is close and warm.
Cones.
Short days,
One,
cold,
Mud.
seasonal sickness, lack of light.
lack of vitamins.
Exactly. You can break something like leg or arm. Regions on the surface. Physical change. What about pros? Colors of winter. You can do your
New Year, holidays.
holidays, sports, of course, sports. And okay, what is it? What our timer doesn't like about winter time? Our timer, Polina. What she doesn't like about winter time? It's getting dark too early. Short days, yes. Okay. Which year the snowflake of size extra large fell down in Moscow, according to Olga?
1944.
1944, exactly. And by the way, I did mention that since we have only ladies in the audience, and because of my bad memory and pressure of time, the procedure of quizzing is slightly different. So those of you who consider yourself the winner of yourself, okay. Anastasia, what does Anastasia do after doing sport? What does she like to do?
Drink
wine.
Exactly. And how many languages does Nastya's boss speak?
Three.
Three or four, exactly, yes. One of them?
Arabic.
Yes. And which language did Anastasia?
German.
University. Okay, now a hard one. Miles? Please ignore those questions. Oktoberfest, in which city held Oktoberfest, according to Miles?
It's in Germany.
Oh, it's Canada, Calgary. And okay, and winner is who remembers the name of mayor of Calgary. Wow, I'm impressed. Yoti Golden, right? Is my pronunciation close?
Correct. Yes, very good.
Perfect. And there are two American presidents. Miles quoted. Correct. Okay. I'm impressed. And how many members does the club need to operate smoothly? 20. And how did our freshest member find out about our club?
At work,
workshop or something like that.
Right, workshop at work. And for how long does the daylight last?
2 hours.
That's not fair. Yes, you were right, at Alina's city of childhood. And what Miles, and I guess everyone's favorite winter drink. Right, exactly. And which sport, Olga, ignore that question, which sport Olga mentioned in terms of using skipping ropes?
Boxing.
Exactly. Congratulations, you all guys did a great job. Now I think it's about time to close our meeting, and yes, and do we have the winner of table topic session, Marina?
Sure, let me see.
Mhm. Since we are out of our winning equipment, I would like to invite the winner, and we are obligated to give the ribbon in the next meeting. Katya, please come to the stage. Everyone, please drink chocolate. It's gonna make you happy. Thank you. And anything else I can mention? Okay, next meeting, it's going to be on November 21st, and we are planning December. November. I'm behind the time. Okay, next meeting, which is going to be on December 21st, we are going to celebrate Christmas and New Year. So get ready for that, and we already know the theme of the meeting. It's going to be traditions of countries, traditions, New Year and Christmas traditions from all over the world. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Please mark your calendars. And I hope we are going to be at our usual location at Barricade, but it's not 100%, so please watch the chat. Yes, we're going to post the news. No, after
Madam President. Hello, Madam President.
I think the meeting is over. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Thank you to our online audience. Picture. Let's take a picture real quick. We already
Do you want the online audience in the picture?
Yes, please. Of course.
Yes, so everybody turn your cameras on.
Ladies, right out.
Движение. Вот так. Ну, на фоне такой Алины.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you very much. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Мария, мне записала,